All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I got another watch list for you, and the stock market is about to move big. The next 13 trading sessions are going to be the most pivotal for the market. We have a ton of events, and this week is now the first week where we kick all of it off. We are going to get the non-farm payrolls on Friday. That is going to be huge, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, you are going to be hearing from Jerome Powell before Congress. So we talked about this last week. I'm glad to see a lot of other people talking about it. They're even saying the forward implied payrolls data or the volatility is way higher than expected. And well, that's your first pretty picture here. It's showing the next four events that we have: Powell on Tuesday and Wednesday, Friday payrolls, then the CPI next week, and then it ends with March 22nd in the FOMC. These are going to be some of the most volatile events, and it's really going to confirm of whether or not we should be bullish like we started the year, or if we should go back to the fear of last year. So, Chad, we got a ton to talk about. I got the plays for you. I got the keys. Everything else you're going to need. There was even a couple of other events that we will be getting this week, but we are definitely going to be focusing on Powell and the payrolls. What I need from you now, a like on the video would be great. You know, if you don't know, we do this every day, every single day. We got the recap. We appreciate it. God bless you if you like the video, but I need a random account. I need a random account generator play right here. Today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. What we do on this watch list, we pick a random option trade from the comments. So post one below, keep it below $100, post the strike price, expiration date, all of that, and then we're going to do a random comment picker and pick it in the morning. But take a look at the chart right now. We really need your help. I really need your help right now on this. Come on, let us get a good play, Chad. It's game time. Oh, man, okay, don't let me get too hyped, but, Chad, we got all of that. This week is going to be wild. I hope you're locked in the game, and we got a lot to talk about. Run it, baby.
Working to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
But right off the bat, before we get into the keys, the main thing I want to highlight this week is what happened last week. Don't forget, that was the quote-unquote calm week. It really didn't feel like that, but we somehow managed to end up green. But the whole theme that I want to make sure everybody is on the same page with is simply now we are about to start getting the data that could really move the market. So it's about to be volatile. You are right at the same spot that we were at to start December. So it's kind of high, but not really. It was like right around here when we started February, where you really started to go crazy from here. But just keep in mind now, this is going to be the week where we have everything. So that's your first key right here. You have Powell in the jobs report. Those two things will be the number one. And then on the side, you are also going to be getting Canada and Karuta. So Canada, they have their Fed making a decision this week, but the thing that's going to make it so important, they are actually expected to pause, and maybe that pause word may come up later, but keep your eyes out for Canada. And then on Friday, it is going to be the final meeting of Karuta. A lot of people were talking about this. So even though we're looking at the volatility and looking at CPI, jobs report, things with Powell, there is a lot of other things overseas, and these things can actually factor into what we're going to be getting this week. So keep your eyes out for that. That is key number one. But now to dive into Powell and the jobs report a little bit, as far as Powell, we are going to be getting him on Tuesday, and he may really not say anything new, but after seeing how the market reacted on Friday to Bostic, people will be sensitive towards any new language. Now, granted, he has been grilled in Congress before. Tuesday, that one is going to be the Senate Banking Committee, and then Wednesday will be the House's Services. So these are going to be his opportunities to really just talk about monetary policy. He will bring up stuff related to jobs, inflation. A lot of people are going to be looking for if he says anything that is new or anything that could highlight a pausing the policy and really any confirmation of the bullish bias that we've seen all year. So that's what people are going to be looking for. Besides that, though, the jobs report itself, it's surprisingly expected to come in low, and this one will have a big effect. I do think Powell will be more important, but like I'm talking about here, Powell may run the risk of kind of sounding exactly the same. But besides that, now the jobs report is expected to come in 200,000. That is well below the 3-month average. Remember, last month's jobs report, that one was on fire. So this one's going to be pretty simple. If it comes in hot again, I think that'll be a very negative reaction. If it does actually come in low, it'll either confirm whatever Powell causes in the market or will allow us to do the opposite. So keep that one in mind. That is key number 2. And then finally, man, just this week and coming into the next 13 trading sessions, just do not get trapped. So weeks like this week, whatever happens the day before isn't really going to matter. We talked about this even that to end last week. You had that huge rally towards the end, but like I was saying there, it doesn't matter. Nothing is guaranteed. All it takes is Powell and jobs report to reverse it, or even if you sell off 2% tomorrow on Monday and then Powell comes in very, very dovish, you may very well be able to recover that in one day. The whole idea here is just be ready for the data. We need to wait for the final confirmation, and that's going to be March 22nd. Pretty much the stakes are going to get raised all the way up until the FOMC. That will be the most volatile event that is currently priced in now, and once we get that, that's when we know. But week by week, you're going to you got to be flexible, be ready for anything, and hopefully you stay in the game and don't get trapped. But let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I do have a couple of plays. They're kind of random here. I think so, given that we're going to be having a lot this week, and really anything can change. What we saw last week, you saw a lot of industries kind of do the opposite. Started off with a rotation, then before you knew it, everything was either getting sold off or was getting bought up all in tandem. So, keep that in mind and keep in mind the momentum for this week. But I'm going to be starting off here with Netflix. I think they're at a very, very key make it or break it level. Pretty much depending on the momentum that we get this week off of any news, I think you could play it both ways. So it's pretty much holding right below that gap that they had there on the earnings in April 2022. They've been running up as high as 360, but I either think you're going to kind of come back down to here or you're going to get that upside, and they have been trailing relative to a lot of the other tech stocks. So I think it just depends on overall momentum, but I'm definitely going to be watching them. That is play number 1. Then play number 2, GATX and NSC. I don't know if these are my favorite. Pretty much if there wasn't another train derailment in Ohio owned by NSC, I probably wouldn't have even put this on the watch list. We made a play on GATX on Friday, so keep this in mind. We'll see if this leads to any sort of news hype, really. I think that's going to be the biggest part of any of these plays until we actually learn about liability. But GATX, NSC, these are both related to any train derailments. NSC is the company, and then we found out on Friday that GATX, they were listed as one of the owners of the rail cars from the last derailment in Ohio. So we'll find out what happens there. I'm 25 shares short on GATX. That is play number 2. And then play number 3, this one might be my favorite. We're going to find out after Powell, but XLF, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, pretty much if we see anything cool off and the market really wants to start getting bid up again, I think banks are in the prime position to benefit off of all of it. So what I'm talking about is simply higher rates. As long as the consumer and market stays stable, they have been benefiting off of it so far, but some individual names have had a lot of volatility, but now some other banks are already kind of at their breakout points. Like even looking at JP Morgan, they are ready to go. And even if you look at like XLF as an index, it really didn't suffer too much here to start the year, even on any of this decline. So going to be watching the banks there. I think those will be very, very good this week. And then as far as everything else, I did make a couple of plays on Friday. That's what we're holding. What do? I closed out of that ES that we were flipping. Actually got like $1,600 on it. Then we made a couple of MES and ES flips there throughout the day. Made like an extra $200 or so. And then I cut out of my UAL. We held this one from the beginning of the year after earnings. That one came positive and got out of that one. So it was only like $7 profit or something like that. And then GATX, that was the one there with the rail cars. Grabbed that, and then holding the JWN, the Nordstroms for earnings, and then the GitLab, Costco, those are all of the other pre-market flips or the post-earnings flips. And then here's pretty much everything else we're going to be holding in there. We do have a game plan that we're going to be doing with Rita now that we're running out of time. Pretty much we're getting ready to roll over that covered call. I'll keep you posted on that one. We got a lot of the tech names coming back up there, and I'm still been holding pretty much most of these plays you've been aware of. We're going to look to be rolling over the NQ probably next week ahead of Powell, and then I am going to be looking this week to see if we could get an appropriate entry on the bonds again to roll over. So Chad, I hope you're ready, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember, baby, you're not the same when you're tired. Get a good rest. Make sure you are rested, and it's not like you're doing worse. Sometimes you just tired, baby. So make sure you got the energy. Make sure you got the stamina, because what we are about to enter into right now, you can't be tired, Chad. I need you to rest. Take care of yourself. Make sure your head is in the game. Don't worry about what the future holds as long as you make it there to the event, baby. But Chad, I love you. I will see you this week. It's going to be a wild one, and God bless you, and welcome on.